What's going on, people? My name is Joanne. I'm a local saxophonist based in the El Paso and Las Cruces area. Today I want to give you all little tips and advice on how to play the saxophone and how to get your first hunk and notes out. Alright, so for the first step, let's assume you already got your axe all set up and ready to go. Let's take out your mouthpiece a little bit and let's analyze that for a little bit, yeah? So, what we want to do is out here we have the mouthpiece. There's three main parts in the mouthpiece. There's the actual mouthpiece itself, the reed, and the ligature. Now, there's two ways to set up the mouthpiece properly. I prefer to do it this way, and I'll tell you guys a little story as to why. So, what I like to do first is I like to put on the ligature first, holding it, slowly lift it up with my thumb and index finger, and sliding in my reed. And let me tell you why I do that. So, I had a gig one time, and it was a really big gig for my previous band that I was in part of. And I was talking to the sound guy, I was arguing with him, because, you know, as saxophonists usually do, argue with them about be louder and stuff like that. And as I was talking to him, I accidentally split my reed in half, but thank God I had a backup box of reeds that I bought the week beforehand, so I didn't have to play the reed. I didn't have to play the gig on a broken reed. That would have been hell, right? Ain't nobody want to do that. So, I personally recommend slowly bringing it up with your thumb and index finger, sliding in the reed after that. Now we're done talking about basic mouthpiece setup, let's start talking about reed placement. Now, reed placement is crucial to playing the saxophone because the way you have your reed position can tell your sound by a mile away. I personally like to have the reed just a little bit above the tip of the mouthpiece, not too much. If you have it too much, you're not going to get a really good sound. If you have it too low, you're going to get a really crappy sound. Some people like to have it right aligned with the tip. I'm not a huge fan of it because I like to have more of a beefy, more core sound. And now that we're good with that, let's put it on the neck. Now this part is called the neck. The neck pretty much allows the sound to go through the saxophone and allows it to go out, projecting your wonderful sound, yeah? So after that, start talking about embouchure. Now, this is where it gets a little bit tricky. You may be asking yourself, what the hell does embouchure mean? Embouchure pretty much means the way you position your mouth to play the saxophone. And what you want to do, grab your little hands, wiggle them around in the air, say hello to all the demons and the angels, whatever you want. Now grab your finger, index finger, not America's favorite finger, not the middle finger, but index finger, and put it on your chin. You're going to look a little silly, but just bear with me. You're going to want to push your jaw down a little bit, and you want to feel your chin getting flat right here. Now, next step is you want to slowly put your finger in your mouth, right at the top. Now, you're going to look a little stupid, but that's fine. It's part of the process. The next part is called sealing the corners. So now that we have chin flat, teeth on top, and seal. What it means by sealing the corners is pretty much right here, closing off this. Because if you don't have this closed off, your air is going to go out everywhere and it's not going to sound good. If you don't have it closed off, it's going to sound a little like this. But if you have it closed off, much difference in sound. Now that we got everything good to go, let's start talking about hand position. Now, it's going to be a little different than what you're used to, but it's going to be left hand on top. And let's do this. Put up a number 3. And it's going to be on the first pearl, second pearl, and third pearl. Now, some of y'all may be having your thumbs out like this. This is wrong. Let me show you why. On the back of the saxophone, we got an octave key. And this key pretty much raises up the note 1 octave. So think about, let's play a G, for example. If I press down on the octave key with my thumb, sliding it over, it's going to sound like this. You hear the difference, right? That's what the octave key is for. So always have your thumb on there. Your pinky is just going to slide over the G sharp key. And now I start talking about the individual notes. The first note that usually everybody always honks out is a C sharp, which is pretty much an open with no fingers out. You know what I mean? Next is America's favorite finger, the middle finger, on the second key, and this is called a C. Next, we have flipping it over to the index finger on the top, this is a B. Then we have 2 ways to play a B flat. We either can do gliding over with the bis key. This is called the bis key, by the way. We can either put the index finger over the bis key, or we can play an A, which is just 1 and 2, and the bottom side key, which will give us the same note. It's just different fingerings. the two ways, whichever you feel most comfortable with. Now, as we talked about earlier, this is called an A. 1, 2. Then we have a G sharp, and now we're going to start using the pinky. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, putting down the G key as well, the bottom key, and clicking up that G sharp key with your pinky right here. And those are the first couple notes on your left hand. Now let's start talking about the right hand. So pretty much anything from G all the way down is going to be using the right hand. The first note is F sharp, which is just 1, 2, 3, and the middle, America's favorite finger on the middle key. We're going to flip it like how we did with C to B and go over with the index finger on the F key. That was an F. Now we have an E, just put one finger down on the second key. Next we have a D sharp or E flat. It can be named as either or, which is pretty much 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, putting down that third key and this upper bottom key. And last but not least, we have concert F or D. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Alright, now that we covered that, that's pretty much just a basic rundown of how to play the saxophone. There's way more that goes into it, but those are just the mere basics that you need right now. The best advice that I ever got when I first started playing out the horn is just to listen to as many recordings as you can. It doesn't just necessarily have to be jazz, it could be classical, rock, indie, whatever you want. The saxophone has had such a great impact on music, and it's so cool that it's so versatile in any place you go. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys got something out of it. Happy practicing.